That's one. I think marriage is another.
What do you mean? What? Give me your ideas of marriage, because I don't typically agree with the marriage laws in today's society.
The concept of marriage, not really the legality of marriage. I think, and it's funny because I know before on the last podcast that I was on, I said like it was all jokes and funny, and I liked, and I think I leaned a lot more toward, women suck and men. I feel bad for what's happening to men, and I do, but I don't think that either are without fault. I mean, if we're getting a little bit more serious 100%. About it, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think one can't be without the other, and then also when it starts to fall apart, it's on both sides. Yeah, like they both caused it, they both did it.
I mean, Kobe and I were talking about this earlier today, where it's like a cycle basically. Like men are becoming more feminine, and that causes females to become more masculine because they need someone to protect and defend themselves. If they can't, if they don't have a man to do that,
they have to overcompensate.
And then by them overcompensating and making men harder for them to become more masculine. So it's like just constant like pushback.
Well, I mean, like the reason why we started this podcast in the very, very beginning, our idea was to help guys. So I agree with you. I think guys are they're not doing what they have to.
They're missing the mark.
Yeah, they are. Or they're just being lazy, and because men are more likely to become more comfortable rapidly, right? Yeah. So, going back to what Sebastian was saying, we're thinking that we're seeing a level of men just getting too comfortable. And what happens is women are now like demanding more. And because of that, the femininity in men is now driven up much higher because women are now placing a higher bar for masculinity.
Yeah. Yeah. I think too, though, like just to focus in on one thing, because there's so many things.
Yeah, there's so many.
It's that, you have the internet culture now and the internet community that makes fun of certain things and pokes fun at certain people. And one that I was talking about with somebody just the other day, that's why I'm thinking of it, was that how biologically speaking, women require men who are stable and capable of support, protect, so that biologically speaking, you can procreate, have babies, take care of the household, and be nurturing.
Exactly.
And that's what makes your feminine energy come out. And that's, so they require the masculine so that you can provide the feminine, all that stuff. But then you have this whole culture now that wants to shame women for being gold diggers. And the reality is in some situations there are gold diggers, but in a lot of situations it is just a woman asking for the basic needs she requires to have a household.
No, I agree with that.
So it's like, so then you have this deadbeat dude that does nothing but play his Xbox all day, and the girl's like, sorry, I don't want to be with you, I'm gonna go be with the guy who's running his own construction company. And all of a sudden this dude's like, oh, you little fucking gold digger.
Right.
Like, no, I'm just gonna pick somebody who can take care of me and take care of themselves while I raise our child together.
No, it's funny, I was looking at something today on my feed, and there in the comment section, or the post said, I'm not jealous of anybody except for the women who are at home and being taken care of. And then when I looked into the comment section, because I knew this was going to be fucking hilarious, and it was just like, all these women were like, no, I would never stay at home. I like to put in my efforts too. I want to contribute. I'm a strong woman. My husband needs me. Why would he just do everything when I can help him out too? And I'm just like, they're missing the fucking point. Right.
To have the option to stay home.
Exactly.
That's the blessing.
Yeah.
I get that. And it's so funny because I've always wanted to be an independent woman. And now that I'm in my 30s, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
I think I see it now. And it's so weird how like glaringly obvious it becomes. And I've talked to other women in their 30s too, and they say it always happens like right around the same time.
Yep.
And you're in your 30s. And if you happen to not have kids in your 30s and you happen to not have a husband in your 30s, all of a sudden it hits you in the face and you just start to see all these flaws. And then you start to think that the only thing that you fucking want and I'm not even kidding. It's like the only thing that you want is just one person that you can just completely rely on, that you can just do this fucking thing called life with, and a kid.
Nice. I'm so glad that you're admitting to that.
That's it. This is the only things like, and it's because it's not even that. Yeah, I don't have this huge career that I'm absolutely in love with, but I've dabbled around enough and I've made enough money over the years here and there where I've made quite a bit of money and I've been really well off and I had nothing I had to worry about, and I still felt like something was missing. or bored or this or that. And I don't know, the more I watch people who have kids and the more I watch people who have families, it's just that you want your little tribe. And I think that's really important.
Is it like do you feel like it's like almost like a burning desire now that you feel?
It's like this. It's just, some days I would be happy with all my friends that I love. And, you know, I just want to do something that feels purposeful. And then in my head, what's that? Well, hang around people I love, travel, and do something that adds value to others' lives. And then some days it's like, I'm like, no, it's none of that stuff. It's literally just having I just want to fucking have a baby and a husband. That's it, period.
Like I would give everything up just to have that moment.
Like if I just go, I mean, not give everything up, because obviously I would never say I want to settle.
Yeah.
And I,
for the right person,
value the experiences that I've had, and I value all the things that I did. I don't think I've done anything too crazy. You know, I'm not out here with an OnlyFans, and I'm not doing anything wild. Obviously, it just hasn't happened for me yet. But I would say that it's definitely more of a desire now, to where it pains me to say how difficult it is to find a reliable partner. It just sucks.
Maybe it's this circle that you're in.
I mean, yeah. I also have to look at myself in some regard. That's why I quit my job. You know what I mean? It was wreaking havoc on me, like emotionally and mentally, and it wasn't taking me where I wanted to go, and I wasn't being the person that I wanted to be. And even though I don't have the income coming in anymore the same way that I had before, I feel like 100 pounds just taken off my chest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kobe mentions this all the time. Depending what field you work in, you know, it does attract what it is, you know? Like, you're not going to find wifey or hubby in a strip club, you know?
And I think
you're not going to find wifey or hubby in the club and whatever, you know, all that stuff. So it's like, you know, if you're hanging around in that area, or you're working in that area, or even like if you're doing OnlyFans or stuff like that, you know, like, you know, good for you if you're doing it, but it's not going to attract the man that you want in your life, you know?
Unless you're fucking the photographer.
Yeah, unless you're a photographer, or you're doing OnlyFans with your boyfriend or your husband, then it's, you know, another thing, you know?
I agree with that. And I think that's a huge reason why after 2 years of being at the club, it was hurting me in such a massive way. I think that also when something that you're doing doesn't line up with your value system, it affects you. And you don't think so at first. You think like the ends justify the means, the money justifies the shit you're going through. But when your value system is like, I want to add to value to people's lives, I want to have something that's purposeful, and I want to help people get better. And then all of a sudden you turn around, you get a job where you're just feeding people's vices.
Yeah.
Your job is literally to hurt people's health.
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, you know, you might be an alcoholic, but here's another. It's that kind of feeling where every day you go home, you feel like you've done nothing, and it's
like
empty.
selling drugs to a drug addict.
So you go home and you're empty, and you don't have anyone to share a home with, and you don't have any kids, and you're making money off of what? People suffering, people being unhappy. And it makes it sound so grim, because obviously everybody thinks, oh, it's nightlife, so you're working at a party all the time. It feels like a party, but you know, none of it's your everyday life. And you go to bed and you wake up and you go back to it, and you just watch these people coming in and just spending thousands of dollars for what?
Well, I can give one advice, and that one advice is this. If you're a woman and you're looking for a specific type of man, you need to put yourself in that field that will get you to meet that type of man. Like, if you want to be like with a fucking doctor, you're going to be a nurse or a CNA or a medical assistant. If you want to get with a guy who's got the status of being a lawyer, then you're probably going to be a paralegal or something.
Or just go onto sugarbabies.com.
Yeah, but that's not realistic.
And if you just find one, give him my name. You guys. It's totally fine. I am receptive and open to all avenues to find love.
Don't listen to her. She obviously isn't successful right now, so don't listen to her.
Did you find that funny? I did. Thank you for watching WakuRadio. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and comment below if you like us or not. And there's more clips and more videos, full episodes.
Amnesia, forgot how it sure beat her. Cooking up the track, I'm the baker, just like Anita.